They show run with 3 tight ends here on first down. This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson, and he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. These two teams, they met up earlier in the year, back in week 2, and it was the visitors getting the win there, so they'll be looking for the sweep back here at home. They go back to Carson here on second. And this will go for 5 up to the 33. But Charles, this Thanksgiving tradition, so great. I mean, going back essentially through the full century of the NFL, I know you probably have a lot of fond memories of Thanksgiving Day football yourself.
I certainly do, and I don't have the Turkey Bowl tradition. You know, the families that go out and play and then come in and sit down to their feast and watch football. I remember reading about, the Lions jumping on the Packers on Thanksgiving Day. The only loss the Packers had in 1962, and they sacked Bart Starr over 10 times in that game. And I remember Dave Williams from the Bears returning the overtime kickoff for a touchdown to win a game on Thanksgiving Day. I remember so many different things happening, but how much fun is it each and every year to know that you've got football on Thanksgiving Day?
The previous run, good for 9. Here's second and a yard.
Let's go, Pete.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Dumps this one off to Chris Carson. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds.
First drive of the game. We did see this in practice, didn't we? Because they allowed us to stay and watch and see what their opening script would be, even though we don't know the exact play calls. That looks a lot like what we saw them execute, doesn't it?
It really does. And in practice, it wasn't about a lot of big shots on that opening drive. They wanted to put together a series of plays, sustain it. They've done that. The defense now on their heels a little.
That they are. And you know what else is happening now? They're gaining information. They're gaining knowledge about how the defense is planning on playing them. So not only are they being successful on this drive, they're filing things away for future drives in this game.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Being chased out left. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a 3rd down. Well, when you've got a quarterback like this dead to rights, you got to make sure to wrap up. Instead, though, he breaks free and off he goes.
Yeah, and at the risk of sounding just a little bit trite, this is just a tackle that needs to be made. It's one thing when you've got a bruising 230-pound running back coming your way, but when it's a quarterback who's running for his life, your teammates will tell you, you've got to get him on the ground.
And the next-gen stats shows us the tale of how much yardage he was able to pick up after the initial contact. Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter. They'll run on first down. It's Carson. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. 42 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point. The impressive opening drive continues and just space being created by those guys up front.
We're seeing this the same way, aren't we? We are seeing an offensive line, as this game gets started, as it starts to unfold, that they are dominating the line of scrimmage.
And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal. Carson. And the D not yielding much there. He's only going to get a yard to about the 2. Driven it down the field nicely here on the opening drive, and now it's put up or shut up.
No doubt about it, because to make that type of a drive and ultimately kick a field goal would feel very disappointing. But I'm just wondering, is the head coach...
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Chris Carson, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Lions take it right down and score on the opening drive. Extra point up and through by Myers. And it's now a 7-0 game.
Jason
touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25. Sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. Second down. These two teams, you may remember, they met up at Soldier Field earlier this season with the Bears winning that one. So if they can win again here in Detroit, they'd pull off the season sweep. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. A play fake. Now Fields to throw. They'll roll it, and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. He couldn't get away. He'll wind up losing a dozen yards, a 12-yard loss, and it brings up 3rd. So now following the sack, Fields and the Bears looking at 3rd down and long. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And this pass broken up. And the contact well timed there. And now 4th down.
Brandon, we saw these defenders flying to the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Lions will take over. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They come off a victory over the weekend, but now the quick turnaround here for this Thursday night game. How does that affect how teams like this approach these short turnarounds?
Well, wins and losses always factor into, how you're getting ready for the next game. But equally as important when you have the short turnaround, what is your injury situation? Are you losing key guys? And if so, how well have the backups prepared for this? Because you don't have much time to get them ready. They have to be ready before this week in order to play well in this game. That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
First carry for DeAndre Swift. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. On 2nd down now, it's Carson. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. 53 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. On play action, they'll throw. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds. 7 yards, the pickup there.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
2nd and 3. Touchdown, Detroit. A great play there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Lions add on to their lead. A nice throw there by the second-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie. Because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to a second and sometimes third progression. That was a nice play.
And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. The return man down to a knee, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And they, almost to a man, told us how excited they are to be playing in this traditional Thanksgiving game. But we have to remember, this is a team that lost on Sunday. Now they get a very quick turnaround to play again. How difficult is that to do?
It's difficult under any normal circumstance when you're coming off of a loss and you have a quick turnaround. The first thing is to put the loss behind you and move forward. But when you plan on Thanksgiving Day, everyone's watching you. It's an added bonus, though, because now you put the loss behind you. Get that taste out of your mouth, because the taste you want is victory, turkey, and pumpkin pie.
A big play that time through the air. 32 yards. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Now a handoff here to his running back. Finding room to the 20. And down to the 19-yard line.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And he'll be forced out of bounds shy of the line of scrimmage, so that'll be credited as a sack. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down.
So when the defense complains about having to do pursuit drills in the heat of training camp, plug in this play. Excellent pursuit. Force the quarterback out of the pocket. He ends up trying to run for it. Instead, he goes out of bounds and loses yardage. That goes down as a sack for the defense.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Trey Flowers able to record his 5th sack of the season. These sacks now, they're starting to pile up, Charles. And that front 7 defensively, they've had their way with this offensive line.
And I think at this stage, we have to start thinking about different play calls. We've got to start helping this quarterback out because...
And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked by Jeff Okudah. And the Lions are going to take over here at their own 22-yard line. It's almost like you can see the look of frustration on his face. 4 interceptions last week. We talked about it all week. What did he do wrong? And another one here in the first half.
And you can understand the frustration. You actually feel his pain a little bit. But the worst thing he can do is what you're seeing right now, showing the other team that he's frustrated. All they're going to do is double their efforts to make him even more frustrated. He's got to gather himself, compose himself, and keep fighting.
He talked a lot about erasing that loss last week, getting back in the win column. We'll see how he responds. On 1st down, Carson finding some room at midfield. Powers by at the 40. And finally down at the 36-yard line. 78 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
Here's Carson. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy. One of my old teammates called me the other day when he was watching the game. He's like, man, trying to watch an NFL game and trying to account for their passing game? That's difficult. And just when you think you get everything covered, here comes a back out of the backfield. And in this case, he picks up a 1st down.
They go play action here on first down. Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29. They bring the safety on the blitz, and he busts through to drop him for an 8-yard loss. Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half. He'll drop to throw.
And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
You definitely would like to hit on that one because now you've got a 3rd and long showing up, and you just know defense is going to be getting after it. They are pinning their ears back, and they are coming.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. They'll try the left side. It's Carson.
And a nice job to break free of one tackle, but it slowed his momentum somewhat, and he's taken down right after.
Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. And Myers able to knock it through, and the lead will grow. It's now 17-0.
So the turnover leads to points as they add 3 there.
Yeah, what a sequence there, and a nice one for them. They force the interception, put together a little drive, and then come away with 3 points. Nothing to it, partner. Just do it.
Myers now converted on the field goal try. Now he's on to kick it away.
And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense.
And with a 3-score deficit staring him in the face, they might have to press the issue here and try to get points out of this drive.
And he gets this up to the 34 out of bounds there. A good first down call as the screenplay gets them 9.
And some play callers, when they go into games, they don't mind calling a lot of screens, and they don't care what down. They were maybe 1 block away from really having something there to start this drive. Good job defensively to cut through the blockers and make the tackle on the screen, or that could have gone for maybe 15 or 20 yards.
And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. The last drive, remember, similar situation. He forced a ball into coverage through the pick. He learned better there.
Yeah, similar to a golfer that's confronted with a shot that you just can't make. Sometimes you have to take your medicine, as they say, right? Just pull it down, take off, and go. Don't make something worse than what it was.
Now a first down throw, Fields.
He'll take a shot for the end zone.
And it'll be incomplete. Good job staying with him defensively. And it'll bring up second down.
I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
Fields now to throw.
And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it.
They snap it to Fields.
He's going to take a shot at the end zone. Why not? And that is caught at the back judge right there to say incomplete. A surprising move to go for it. Predictably, at least somewhat predictably, it doesn't pay off. And the Lions will get the football back in terrific field position. They hand off to their big tight end. And he's going to be taken down here as that will lead us to the end of the first half of play. So we're at halftime here in the annual Thanksgiving game in Detroit as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Bears going to see the football first, and they trail here as we get back underway to start this second half. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained. Maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of kickstarts them. And now hold everything here as the challenge flag is out. And we're going to get a review of that last play. So the challenge not a successful one as this will stay an incomplete pass. On 2nd and 10, Fields. I'm not sure he saw the linebacker there as that's batted down and incomplete.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
Escaping the pressure right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable, and that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
42-yard punt, 6 on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. They'll start out on the ground with Carson. And he'll get this out past the 45 to the 47.
97 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. They run again with Carson. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
They'll run on 1st down. Carson, and he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
2nd down and 8.
2 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and 8.
Now back to throw. Looking left side, and it's complete. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the 3rd quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play there, 2nd down.
Bears 12-yard line.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Carson. And a pickup of about 4 down inside the 10 to the 8-yard line.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. the gun now on third down. And in for the Lions, touchdown. A great effort there. Hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Lions are able to extend their lead.
As far as tight ends go, if you get 3 or 4 touchdowns in a season, that's usually counted as a pretty good year.
And CD, he just hit double digits. That's 10 touchdowns for him now.
Yeah, and that's something you really have to applaud. That's elite-level production.
Myers connects on the PAT. And the lead is now 24. The touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away.
And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt a return.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
2nd and 9. Now it's Fields. That's complete to Mooney.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield.
And Charles, with that completion, I'm told that puts him now over 3,000 yards passing on the campaign.
And Brandon, I think we have to start to think about where we are in the season, because right now, 4,000 is not out of the question. I think a big game or two, he's certainly capable of getting that done.
Flush to his right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
Picked off by Jordan Poyer.
And the Lions are going to take possession here at their own 33. They exited the pocket trying to improvise. That was a tough throw, and unfortunately, it wound up in the wrong pair of hands.
And Brandon, when you're on the run, sometimes your downfield vision can get skewed just a bit. Now, the beauty of extending a play is sometimes your receivers find their way open, but oftentimes you end up closing down part of the field and bringing those defenders to the ball, and that one was picked off.
Here's a handoff to Carson to begin the drive. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
They go back to the ground, this time Swift.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Khalil Mack able to record his 5th sack of the season. Defensively on the previous play, they gave up a pretty good chunk of yardage, but right there, they got a good portion of it right back.
And if we just flip it around from the offensive perspective, took a nice step forward, and how about a couple of leaps backwards after that play? They've got to figure out a big call coming up here to try and gain that yardage back.
And that's out to the flat for Swift.
And a nice gain and a broken tackle along the way, and really we shouldn't be surprised, should we? That's what runners do, especially the best ones. They break tackles and gain extra yardage.
They're going to look to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. Eddie Jackson picks it. And they will be set up now as he brings this thing all the way back inside the 20.
CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that
and that is caught. Touchdown. Well, there is a marker on the field. The celebration may be short-lived. Let's see. So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Here's Fields. Buying time to his left. Oh, he's hit. He lost the football. Put it on the carpet. And this is scooped up by the Lions. And he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line. Let's see now, Charles. That's 7 turnovers between last week and this week. 3 here in this game, 4 in last week's game.
you know I do my research, right? And I go all the way back to the best coaches that have ever been in this game, and all of them started with ball security in some form or another, understanding that taking care of the ball was the key to winning games. They can't believe what they're seeing right now because they spend all this time on it with the fundamentals, taking care of it, tucking it away, and they're not doing it.
We're on to the 4th here on Thanksgiving Day. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. And this one is incomplete. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
And they'll get this across the midfield stripe, but still winding up short of the first down. A good effort there, 9 yards, but it's going to leave them looking at a 4th and 1. Here's Cameron Johnston now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. He only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. And he'll get credit for putting him inside the 20 as the fair catch is made right at about the 19-yard line. Just a 25-yard punt, not what he was hoping for by any stretch. And the Bears take over. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive.
And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time, down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win?
Eluding the pressure right. Now he's going to throw deep right side. And that is incomplete.
We've seen that the deep ball's been a part of their game plan all afternoon, but they've had trouble hooking up on it, unable to successfully find the end zone over the top.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Fields. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A big connection on that one. 31 yards. Defensively, I know they have the comfortable lead here in the 4th, but they do not want to give up big plays like that.
They want to finish strong. So oftentimes in this situation, you tighten up underneath in your coverage, and you bring your...
And that is caught. Touchdown, Bears. A great play there, with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Bears are finally into the end zone here in this 4th quarter. Now the Bears keeping the offense on the field and going for 2. They'll try and throw for it. Flushed out right. to the end zone, but knocked away and incomplete.
I don't know about you, but I can't wait for a few years of two-point tries and see what the data tells us, because a lot of teams want to throw the ball in this situation, this time unsuccessfully. I just wonder if maybe running the ball might be the way to go.
With it moved up from the 3 to the 2, you would think maybe a few more attempts at running.
I think stats over time may bear out that running the ball will at least be the equal of throwing it in that situation.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Now, the previous drive they punted, but that was just the first time they've had to do so in this game.
And when they turn on the game film, the coaches will rant about this, right? They'll say, oh, God, we got to move the ball, guys. We can't punt the ball away. But they have to keep smiles off their faces because that's the first time in the game they've had to do so. They've moved it quite well. They'll overall be happy with what they've seen.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. They'll set up to throw. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
On 3rd down, it's Carson, and he will not get there as they stop him short right around the 34-yard line. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll bring up 4th down.
So many things go into making a good play on defense. In this situation, just not being blown out of the way was a big start, and then a nice tackle to finish things off.
On is the punter, Johnston, now as he sends this one away.
And a fair catch called for and made just outside the 15-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. Even though they were able to force the punt defensively, still a big hole to climb out of, especially at this late stage of the contest. Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete. And he gets it here to right around the 24 before he's out of bounds. That'll give him 8 that time, and it'll be 2nd down.
To throw is Fields.
And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. Vita Vea able to record his 5th sack of the season.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Escaping the pressure right.
And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. Picked by Jeff Okudah.
And they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line. That is now 7 interceptions between last week and this week. 3 in this game, 4 a week ago.
And I saw the head coach write on his play sheet, make a little note. I hope he's writing self-scout. Bring in the guys that scout games for you with a different eye and watch him and see what's going on, and maybe they can pick up what the flaws are, and hopefully they can correct them.
In on the stop, the former Georgia Bulldog, Roquan Smith.
7 at the 42-yard line.
Second and 6. No, scratch that. 2nd and 7.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he'll take this one down to about the 40. They had 3 yards on 1st down, just 1 yard there. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more 1st down to help salt this one away. They'll drop to throw.
And this will go to Carson out wide.
And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a 1st down. So now on defense, you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going.
And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. The defense can stop it twice more as they take a knee here. Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And they'll indeed take a knee. Now the Bears will use their third and final timeout as it comes with 1:15 left to go in the second half. The Bears bring out an extra defender in the secondary now for third down. The play action fake. They'll look to throw. He's got his man, T.J. Hockenson. And he is going to have a Lions first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Now that's a big pickup right there, and so often we focus on how the quarterback's faking out play action. How about everyone being in on the deal and picking it up?
Second and third levels, you could see them trying to recover. They bit. Worked out offensively.
Listen, anytime you take a knee to end a game, that means you've won it. So it doesn't matter whether it's home or on the road, but there's something a little extra special about doing it in front of your home crowd, isn't there?
And the home crowd applauding. They're happy with what they've seen. Chalk this one up in the left-hand column for a win.
Yeah, that's right. Head to the locker room, throw the wristbands in the crowd for the kids, your gloves, your towels. Get to share it with the home team.
So this one's over. It's a win for the Detroit Lions, and I think the game balls need to be distributed on the defensive side of the football, and I bet that you would agree.
Yeah, if you hold a team under 10 points, that's a job well done, really well done. So I would say game balls for every starter and every key player who participates.